Okay, we are recording, so welcome back in. Before I get started with the day 2 part of this course, I just wanted to, I think everybody here probably already saw that. It's been corrected. When I set up the first Facebook page, I set up a page rather than a group, and I was pulling my hair out trying to figure out how come I can't make this thing private, which is what I wanted to do, because when we have a private group, it's easy. I can share files, and I can put files and the mindfulness worksheets in there and all that kind of sort of thing. And we can kind of control who's watching, who's coming in and stuff like that, because I don't want to just have the Zoom links and everything out there. So there was only a couple of you, Gloria. I think I see that you signed that or saw that and came to the private group. The private group actually says private group in it, and the URL has master Mindfulness Gulf Coast private group, or Mindfulness Gulf Coast group in the URL. So I'm going to be deleting that other one. Sandy and John, don't worry, you're in the right place. Trixie, you're in the right place. Everybody's in the right place. So just wanted to let you know. I know it's a little bit confusing, but we'll be able to manage it better and put things in there and build some files, because I'm going to have a whole bunch of different exercises and things, and it'll save some of the redundancy, okay, of doing this email and then posting it here and then posting it here and then posting it here. So, all right, let's get started for today. This is really like the second entry. If you did not watch or participate in the first one fully, like Bill had to jump off, and he posted a nice comment on the original page of, he went back and watched it. He had to jump off. So if you didn't go through the whole first one, it's kind of important for this, what we're doing, to go through all of that. And Trixie, if you want to call me later, I can help you. I don't know what's going on with yours. We can get you through it, but it's really important that you go through the first one and look at some of the instructions and explanations, and especially begin to grasp the attitudes of mindfulness. This isn't meditation that we've done in Unity in Fort Walton Beach before. This is a little different objective, if anything, really a non-objective. But we're going to talk about what mindfulness is, which is really just staying fully present in this moment without judgment. So we're going to talk about that today. So let's get started with number 2 here. And this is really about mindfulness explained. So welcome in. And in today's entry, I'll be explaining what mindfulness actually is, and also how to practice mindful breathing. So one of the best definitions, again, of mindfulness is that it is present moment, non-judgmental awareness. And what this means is paying attention to what's going on in the present moment without judging it as good or bad. So just observing the present moment and really experiencing it without judging it as something good that we want more of, and without judging it as something bad that we want to get rid of. Just observing. A great way to think of this is just being in tune with the present moment. So for example, if you are watching a beautiful sunset and just seeing the colors of the sunset, just enjoying it, enjoying the present moment without thinking, that's what you would want to do. You don't want to be thinking, oh, it should be more red, or there's too many clouds, or more green there would be nicer. Just enjoying the present moment. When we really just accepting of the present moment as it is, this is mindfulness. So we can actually practice mindfulness in any of our senses. So we have traditionally the 5 senses that we all know about, right? We have seeing, smelling, tasting, hearing, and touching. And in the Buddhist tradition, they add a sixth sense in there, which is the sense of mental phenomena. And this is something we can be aware of also. So for example, being aware of emotions like sadness, or being aware of thoughts and feelings. So any of these six senses are a great arena to practice mindfulness in. And again, don't worry too much about writing any of this down or memorizing this. These videos are being saved. They're going to be posted. You can go to them over and over again. And we're going to be going through all of this that I just shared within a guided meditation today. So in this session, we're also going to talk about how to practice mindful breathing. In mindful breathing, we're tapping into some of the sensations of touch and feelings in the body. So for example, as you're breathing in and out, just noticing the physical sensations of the in-breath and out-breath, and just paying attention to those feelings in the body, just without judging them as good or bad. This is mindful breathing. Just paying attention to what's happening. Now, it's one thing to hear a definition, and it's another thing to practice it. And it's much more important that we actually get to know what mindfulness is from an experiential point of view rather than a conceptual one. So throughout this course and in the guided meditations, I'll be guiding you through how to really tap into what mindfulness is, so that you can really experience mindfulness rather than just knowing it as a concept. So next up, we're going to be doing a mindful breathing practice, okay? So what I want you to do is to get comfortable as we transition from just that little brief instruction. See, nothing heavyweight here, no astro aeronautical physics or anything like that, okay? So in mindful breathing, finding your comfortable seat, when you fall asleep, just allow your eyes to close. Let me check in on you here. Just allow your eyes to close. And just get comfortable. You know, you can even do this if you prefer to keep your eyes open. You can just have a soft gaze pointed towards the ground, really, to eliminate any side movement or distractions. But we just begin with a few deep breaths, setting up our good foundation. So breathing in deeply and breathing out slowly. So let's do that one more time. Really relaxing the shoulders on the out breath. So breathing in deeply and breathing out slowly. Just letting the shoulders drop. And from here, you can just allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. So there's no need to control the breath in any way, but just allowing the body to breathe itself, allowing that natural rhythm of the body to take over. And just as we learned in the first session, setting up this good foundation, so giving ourselves permission to just be here without having anything to do, without having to go anywhere or achieve anything. We're just allowing the body and the mind to rest. keeping the spine lengthened, but relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the muscles in the face and the jaw, letting them soften, relaxing the neck. Just noticing if there are any areas of tension or tightness. And again, seeing if you can soften those areas when we bring our awareness to those areas and we release, they tend to soften. And as you continue to allow your body to breathe naturally from this place of stillness and this place of relaxation, you can bring your awareness into the feeling of the breath in the body. So just notice, where do you feel the breath the most in the body? Where can you notice any physical sensations of movement in the body? You might notice the rising and falling of the belly. You might bring your attention to the expansion and contraction of the chest. Or perhaps you'll notice some feeling of the air as it passes through your nostrils. Just noticing where you feel the breath the most. Seeing if you can connect with the raw physical sensations. Just noticing the texture of the breath without judging it as good or bad. Just observing it. You might notice the whole movement of the breath as it comes in through the nostrils and down the throat, and the belly expands. And then on the out breath, as the belly contracts and the air gets pushed up through the lungs, out the throat and out the nostrils or the mouth. And just see if you can follow the movement of the breath. You can either pick a single spot and see how the breath changes in that spot over time, or follow through the different places in the body. Just noticing, just staying connected to the present moment. And then to end this meditation, we can go ahead and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And in your own time, allow your eyes to open. Again, just taking in the room around you, just noticing your environment, checking in with your feelings and emotions, seeing if you notice any calm or relaxation. If you need to, take another deep breath. Feel free to do so. And guess what? It's as simple as that for day 2. Now I am going to post a worksheet and I'll send this out in the email as well. And it's a mindfulness exercise that we'll do with our hands, just noticing the energy and bringing our fingertips together and then the palms of our hands and then rubbing them and then bringing them apart, just sensing and feeling. And now these are all building. You may be thinking, oh, is that all there is? See, mindfulness is about not having to jump ahead, not looking to the past, not looking forward, being fully present here and now. But some of these foundations that we're laying in this type of meditation, this type of mindfulness practice will allow us to go deeper as we move forward with the other elements that I'll be sharing as we do move forward. So do these, maybe look at it again. Take the elements of this, and even though we got together on Monday and now it's Thursday at noon, these are simple things that you can remember. You don't have to go back and look them up and strive. Remember, one of the attitudes of mindfulness is the non-striving, because in our society, especially Western society, we're all about striving and doing, always have to be doing, always have to be getting, always have to be having. And mindfulness is the opposite of that. It's the just being. So even in between these sessions, I really encourage you to practice just that 6 or 7 minutes or 5 minutes. There's some meditations, there's so many that I can share with you, but just a simple one is 3 mindful breaths. You just sit and you do the same thing. You know, get your erect spine and then just let your shoulders soften. And then close your eyes and do 3 mindful breaths. What we're doing is we're training the mind to be fully present in this moment. So I think, and sometimes it's not always as easy as it sounds to stay totally focused for those 3 mindful breaths, to follow the breath in through the nose, feeling the air. I like to breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth. So I sense the air coming in. And what we're doing is we're fully present with each moment, because in this moment we feel it moving through our nostrils. We can feel our chest expanding and our belly, you know, if we're breathing deeply, getting the big Buddha belly going and then seeing it contract. But we're paying attention to the moment, keeping our mind occupied with the present moment. And there's all kinds of different ways we'll do this moving forward. But my point is to, in between when I introduce the next one, take the time to do the worksheets. They're very simple, just little exercise to keep you mindfully present, and do some mindful breathing till we get together again. And when will that be? Let me go ahead and unmute everyone. Or you can unmute yourself. I don't have a button to unmute everyone. You can unmute yourselves if you have any comments or questions. Again, it's not rocket science, but it's a little bit different kind, because we have those. If you looked at that first video that I shared, and I often say this, we have 50 to 60,000 thoughts a day. And especially during these times that can be difficult, some more difficult for some people, maybe some less for others. There are challenging times. And so often, you know, depression can set in when we look to the past and spend too much time thinking about the way things were and longing for the good old days, or when this wasn't like this, or the anxiety when we're stressed about, well, what if this, you know, in a negative forward-looking way, where all we really have control over is this present moment of right now. So then from here, in this present moment, as we go further along, we can talk about creating. This doesn't mean non-striving and non-doing and not getting and not doing doesn't mean that we don't want to improve our lives. Quite contrary, where do we improve them? We improve them right here in the present moment. Even if we want something different, we still have to create it here and now, right? So let's get the fundamentals and the basics down and get to that place of peace. I know when I started diving into this, everybody may be thinking, oh, what is he doing? He's preparing his Sunday talks and diving deeper into mindfulness. It's just this type of meditation really benefited me because I was like just all over the place with so many different projects going to just stop and be fully present. Big difference. And we can do this, like I said in the first entry, whether it's in the kitchen getting ready, and I know you do that, Glory, for your father and at home there and everybody else, or when we're driving or walking, we'll share some worksheets or with mindfulness walking, mindfulness cooking, mindfulness of eating. So there's been so much research and so much I have to share with you. I think it's really relevant to everything that we're doing. And then often I'll take my mindfulness practice in the morning and I just transition to more of a spiritual meditation because I'm fully present. Then I can just take it and introduce that omnipresence that God is in our lives, that God is in us. And it just helps me so much. I mean, they're just so much more beautiful because I'm totally focused on the power and the presence. So they are all related. They are all interconnected. This is just another avenue, another way that we can just get to that calm. And it provides so many benefits. And I have more and more supportive material. One article I'll be posting a little bit later today is the differences between mindfulness and meditation, between mindfulness meditation and traditional meditation, and the similarities. And it's rather interesting. So look for that later today. Any comments or questions before we wrap it up? That's going to do it. Not too bad. Under 25 minutes.
That was lovely. Thank you.
That was great. Yeah.
Okay.
Very
Right.
relaxing,
Very
which is something I haven't been very good at.
Yeah, you don't have to be concerned about going or doing anywhere, committing, and I got to be here every Monday night. These are going to pop up. If you can be here, great. You're not going to be admonished if you're not here. If not, I'm going to make sure that you know where the videos are, and you don't have to take an hour a day to sit here in some funky lotus pose or whatever. You can just do these and stop and do them, and then you'll want to do them frequently. Because part of this is noticing how you feel after even 5 or 6 or 7 minutes. And when you feel calm and relaxed right now, and you become just that observer without trying, without judging, you'll observe that the way that you're feeling in any given moment. And if you don't necessarily like it, but you like how you feel after doing some mindfulness breathing and mindfulness meditation, you say, this might be a good time just to spend 3 to 5 minutes with non-doing, with just being. And I know I can do that for 3 breaths. And you start with something as simple as that, and then you really look forward to doing it. And if you looked at that first video, I don't know if you got to look at it, John. I think you were here to watch the whole thing. But we're training our mind too, and that's why we're starting with some really basic stuff, because our mind is conditioned. Like quite a while ago, Tanae got me this a singing bowl, and now in the morning, my mind already knows it's going there. I might not be all prepared yet. I might have taken my third sip of coffee to get right in that space, but just hearing the sound, my mind says, oh, I know what's coming. And the thoughts already start to settle. We're working with our subconscious mind. We're working with the monkey chatter, and they already know it's their time to settle down. And that's what's happening here. That's not why we're not going in and throwing a whole bunch of stuff and making it a 2-hour course today and then a 2-hour course, lessons next week. Just the real simple stuff, because we're training our mind. Real important that we just do this gradually and that you continue to practice that. That's how you'll get the most benefit out of it. Okay. Any other comments? You'll have to unmute yourself if you want to say any or share anything.
Thank you. It was a really beautiful reminder, and I was really glad I could sit with all of you.
Yeah.
And it reminded me that, you know, with all my resistance, that it's not possible for me to, or it's much more difficult for me to accept what is outside of me if I have not first accepted what is inside of me. So that today's meditation really helped bring me back to that and just noticing the movement within myself and the movement of my thoughts. So thank you so much for that. I really enjoyed it and needed it.
Yeah, and especially with what you have going on over there, you know, it's important. You know, it ties in with what you're doing because the self-care is so important with what you're involved in your life right now. But this is also important to what's going on within you because it is that time for you of you don't have to be doing, and you have to get away from what's next. You know, one thing that I find helps me with the thoughts, and I do this, I've done it in traditional meditation, but even more so here, I do have that picture of a stream in my mind, but one of the main stream goes out to the Gulf of Mexico or the ocean or whatever that big is over there, and it just dissolved and it's just gone and it's gone forever. Then I have another one, there's like a Y in that stream, and it branches out, and I know it'll just come back around. It's, you know, it's like the luggage thing in the airport, but it's much longer. So when that thought is, and I'm starting to engage it, and I don't want to, I said, okay, that just take the fork in the road, come back around later. And it really has become very easily, I'm surprised really how easy it is for me to release that way. The ones that I don't want to think about, like the neighbors always parking that car where I don't want them to park, I try to work to let that just go out to sea, and I don't need that thought. You know, just put it in that basket and let it drift away and just come back. This is my time right now to just be. And then did you see the first video? Did you look at the whole thing, Gloria?
I haven't finished the whole thing. I've started
Okay.
it.
Yeah, what will be important is the attitudes of mindfulness that I share a video in there, and it's just getting to that beginner's mind, non-judging, acceptance, not striving. You're accepting, that's what cued me on these attitudes. Accepting of what is doesn't mean that you like it, doesn't mean that you want it to continue to be exactly how it is, but when we can accept something as it is right now in this moment, then we're not pushing against it. Then it becomes a little bit easier to deal with it. Okay, this is how it is right now. I let it be. So a little bit different for how we are in society in the Western world, but then there's other attitudes of patient trust, gratitude, generosity, curiosity, kindness, compassion, you know, and even humor is in there. So we learn about those. Many of those are in that video by John Kabat-Zinn. He's a very instrumental doctor in bringing mindfulness mainstream and even introducing it to the corporate workplace. Okay, anything else, anybody?
Lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, please continue doing this.
Yeah, we will do these.
This
These are
feels
Thursday.
worthwhile.
This is Thursday. Thursday's usually my Sunday talk day, so I'm not sure. Try to get another one. Maybe we get another one in Saturday, not positive, but I'll figure that out probably by the end of the day and get another email out there once this recording processes, and let you all know. And for sure, if it's not convenient, you'll know where to find it. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for looking in, and keep on keeping on. We'll see you next time.
Got a question.
Yeah, go Sandy.
Thank you.
Someone else wants to join that hasn't done this before. I mean,
Yeah, you know, I would invite them maybe to the Facebook group, but you know, you can share that video. You have it in your email. You can forward the email. I purposely did not put everything in the Unity in Fort Walton Beach page. This is like standalone, and I did that from the marketing person in me, that we can attract a lot of people to a mindfulness group. A lot of people, especially right now, want to move away from stress, want to move away from anxiety, want to move back to peace, want to be able to deal with all things in their life from a better place. You know, if we're in a good place, that doesn't mean everybody else is. A lot of people are scared. A lot of people are worried. A lot of people have doubts and fears and what ifs and are having a really hard time. So I encourage you to invite people into the group. And, you know, there are people that may not, you know, they might not walk in a church, and that's okay too. We're not going to be talking about the church all the time in these sessions or in this group even. Now, but by non-doing, by being that, it'll come out where, hey, where do you all hang out? You know, when you do this, when we can get together, and people will just know that, you know, they'll know that I'm a minister. They'll know where you go, and they might want more of. So that's the marketing person in there, just by attracting more people from our community and all around. That's why I called it Gulf Coast Mindfulness. And there's some other mindfulness things in the area. I don't know what CABE is doing right now, but you know, when we attract some of that back here that resonates with what I'm sharing, you know, that can spill over into attendance and membership too at the church as well, in my vision of this. But you know, we're shining our light, and we just keep doing that, and the law of attraction said more people will come.
All right.
So
Thank
yeah,
you.
share away, Sandy, share away. That's absolutely fine. I really encourage everybody to look at that first one though, to get a good foundation. Okay. All right, great. Anybody else? Okay, then we'll call it a wrap, and we'll see you next time. Keep an eye on your email and keep an eye on the
Thanks,
Facebook
everybody.
page. See ya.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.